Hello again. We are ready to color our mask portrait. For this part, I have some crayons and I have some markers. Now, I like to use both at the same time because it gives me lots of different options. If you want to use one or the other, that's totally cool. But just remember, markers and crayons both have, you know, colors that one might have and the other one might not have. So you might be better off to give yourself the option of both. So I'm going to start with my skin color, and this is the most important color choice you are going to make in your picture. I want to tell you that none of these are skin colors. We are not pink, we are not orange, we are not yellow, we are beautiful shades of browns and tans and peaches. So, you know, like I said, you know, if your marker has something that works out, great. If not, you know, crayons or color, even colored pencils are a great option. I'm gonna just check it out on the back of my picture, see what works. And let's see, I got some practicing on the back too. This one's a good one. So think about your face when you are coloring. What is skin, what is not? Obviously my forehead is skin, and I'm pressing like medium hard here. I'm not pressing so hard that my crayon will break, and I'm not pressing so lightly that I can't see it. We want a rich color, but we don't want it to not show up, and we don't want it to be so dark that it breaks our hand and gets more uneven too when you press harder because you can't keep up the same pressure all the way around. Under my eyebrows, on my eyelids, definitely skin. My eyeballs, not skin. Not gonna color those. But my nose is skin. Under my eyes is skin. I'm making sure that I'm stopping at my mask. My mask is most certainly not skin. That would be weird. My ears are skin. Okay, my other ear is skin. So I avoided anything on my face that was not. My neck is skin, and that's showing, so I'm going to color that as well. I'm trying to color all the skin parts now, even though I'm kind of jumping around to different parts of my body. I'm gonna get them all colored so I know that they are done. Next up is eyes. Think about your eye color. We all have wonderful, beautiful, varied eye color. Mine is kind of a greenish blue. So this is a great time, you know, if you want to use markers and crayons. Maybe do some lines of color with my marker. I'm doing some green lines around my eyes, my pupils, that is. And then maybe a little bit of a turquoise blue. Can go over markers with crayons, which is wonderful. That's a neat way to combine some colors. And I got a custom color, and I didn't just have to use, you know, one plain thing. So I got a nice kind of greenish blue for me. My hair is brown, as are my eyebrows. So I'm gonna color my eyebrows in and start to color my hair. Now, a lot of us have highlights in our hair, you know, bright colors or maybe just lighter versions of your colors. I actually have some pink highlights in my hair that are getting harder and harder to see, but I'm gonna pop them in there anyway. And I just added some streaks of that highlight color. So it's always nice to do more than one color, just like we do with our, we did with our eyes. And then the rest of it I'll do with the regular brown, and I could do more than one brown. If you have blonde hair, look and see what your crayon box has to offer. Maybe you want to do a mix of like a golden yellow and a lighter yellow. Or if you have really dark brown hair, maybe a mix of black and brown. That would be nice too. And you can get different variations from your crayon. I'm pressing medium hard, but right here where my hair goes back a little farther, maybe I press a little harder. And look at how my brown changes. I do that just by changing the pressure of which I am coloring with. I'm not pressing super hard, but then when I do press hard, my color changes. And I didn't even have to switch crayons We call that value, the lightness and darkness of a color. This, of course, is also hair, my crazy messy bun that I've got going on. And maybe some of the pieces sticking out are lighter, maybe some of them are darker. And again, I could be adding a different brown, mixing that into. I'm just choosing to press harder and soft. So you decide. So many different things that we can do with our own personal choices. And I'm gonna go around my Y there. I'm gonna leave it so I don't take away from my writing. So that was where I chose to, wow. That was where I chose to stop. Our masks, you know, if you wanna do, I think I'm gonna do a polka dot mask, maybe polka dots in marker, and then I'll color the rest in crayon. I love orange. Orange is my favorite color. This is a great place to show off another thing about you, since this is your self-portrait. Make some orange polka dots. I like to have, when I do polka dots, have them hanging off the edge of the mask, because that's what happens with fabric. Fabric doesn't fit on completely. The pattern doesn't get on there all the way. And then maybe a lighter orange, so I can go right over my polka dots, which makes it really easy to color. I don't have to go around each one. My marker is darker than my crayon. It's not going to disappear on me. And then I can still see my polka dot. So that's a really neat way if you want to do a pattern. Use markers in a darker color for the pattern, and then use a crayon to go over it, and then you can kind of color over the marker, and you get a neat little pattern. Okay, and my shirt, maybe I'll do a blue shirt. And when we're coloring with markers, you have the pointed part of the marker and you have the flat part of the marker. The pointed part is good for the edges, but when you're coloring big areas, I always like to hold it on a little bit of an angle, because it helps you to get a thicker line and really fill it in. With markers, you should always color in small strokes. Coloring all the way up to my edges, and outlining is always a great thing to do. Just kind of go around the shape first, and then fill it in. And again, I'm using small strokes. You would be amazed at how much better your marker will work when you use it correctly. And the correct way to use it is with small strokes. When we start to do bigger strokes, you can see it doesn't fill in as well. It doesn't work as well. It's a much more saturated, which is a fancy way of saying a really rich color. You get a much better version of your color when you color in small strokes, small areas. Okay. I went over the edge a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it. I can always touch up my outline if I need to, but I think nobody's going to even notice that but me. Well, and now you that I've pointed it out. And I'm getting a little on my desk, but I don't care. If that's something that bothers you, you can be working on a bigger piece of paper. And I think maybe a little tan color. My apron is not quite white. So I'm gonna add a little bit to it, just because my background is gonna have a lot of white peeking through, and this is just one less white thing. So I'm very, very gently coloring this tan color. I don't want it to be super dark. I just want a hint of a color, and when we want that, we touch very, very lightly, a little whisper. Okay, and now I am done with my coloring, and I am going to be ready for my background, and that's going to be in the next video, so I'll see you then.